My name is Ugochukwu Obunaya and for Impact in God's Kingdom.
Hi there, my name is Praise Oladipo and I'm Beto.
My name is Akinsonya Olatomiwa and I am here live at Future Clan Bootcamp. I signed up for content and copywriting class and so far it has been so amazing. Believe me, when I say the classes has been so educative, they are so insightful, they are fun, there is just a lot to learn and the facilitators are so good at coming down to our level. You know, when you actually break things down to an extent that even someone who has no previous knowledge about this thing would actually understand. So yeah, the classes has been amazing. We've had group works, lots of presentations, and I would actually recommend this to everyone. And I just want to say a very big thank you to Incubator for actually bringing together this amazing program, because I mean, this is no joke at all. Bringing 1,000 plus people for this on a full scholarship, I would recommend this to anyone and everyone I know. Thank you so much.
Oh, good evening, everyone. Trust you had a good day. Yeah, good to have everyone on the call. Kindly confirm you can hear me. All right, good, good, good. So, can someone just give me a summary of our class for yesterday? What were we taught? And just give me like a recap of everything. Yeah. Can someone just give us a summary? What were you able to learn yesterday? Like, what was your take home that something that you always remember that you always make use of as an individual? Yeah. What was your take home? Janet, we learned. Okay, what did you learn? Okay. Deborah said I'm in product associate. Introduction to product management. Okay. Who a PM is. Okay. Yes, Andrew, I saw your update on LinkedIn. I love that. I mean, I like that. Like it was a great one. I saw some couple of people's updates on LinkedIn. I like the fact that you took a bold step by writing something on your page. So don't stop. Continue writing. Share your stories. You never can tell who is interested in your story. So keep writing. Don't be discouraged. Even if the numbers of likes or the engagement you're having on your channel on LinkedIn is not encouraging, don't worry. Keep writing. Keep dropping updates. Okay, start telling your story as a product man. All right. I love the fact that so many people has a lot to to even tell me about what they learned yesterday. So it shows that we're paying attention, and it also shows that we're listening, which is quite good. So can someone just tell us the topic we're having today? Okay, PM is psychologist. Nice one. Do we know the topic that we'll be having today? What topic are we discussing today? Does anyone knows? Who knows? Who knows? All right, program management is a process. Okay, I like that. Fortune, nice one. So, what are we discussing today? Product management bootcamp. That's what we are discussing today, Kenny. Okay. All right, product life cycle. That's correct, Unshola. Product life cycle. That's what we are talking about today. All right, so moving on. For today's class, I'll be talking about product life cycle. But before we move into product life cycle, we need to know the development phase of what really happened before product life cycle. But that's before the launching of a product. So we're going to start from explaining what product management life cycle, product development life cycle. That's what we're going to start with. So when you hear the word product development life cycle, what comes to your mind? From the word product, from the word development, from the word life cycle, like what comes to your mind? What is product development life cycle? Who has an answer to that question? What is product development life cycle? From the word product development life cycle, what does it mean? You can define it. There's no wrong or wrong answer. Just say it the way it is. I'm listening. I'm waiting. Stages to developing a product. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's correct. Obviously. So I'm waiting. What is product development life cycle? Oh, we don't have answers to that question. It's the process of conceptualizing a product. Okay, that's correct. Is the process of is a time frame from ideation to launch through before it becomes successful. That's correct. It involves phases like idea generation, design, prototyping, testing, and launch. That's correct also, Bukola. Creation of the product. I'm expecting more responses on the channel. Is the stages a product takes is the stages a product takes from ideation to launch. That's correct as well. Stages to complete a product. That's also correct as well. I learned that we've passed that part. The stages of product completion. All right. I mean, you've all said the right answer. There's no wrong answer. Product development life cycle is the process that involve how a product is being created from the ideation to the launching of a product. It has to do with what exactly was put into place before product becomes live. So it's talking about all the process that came to life that you have to undergo before you're able to deliver your product. The processes that has to take place internally before it becomes something that your users can have access to. All right, moving on. Let's check what we have on our slide. All right, so in today's class, I'll be explaining what product development lifecycle is, the sources of product ideas, the stages of product development lifecycle, understanding product lifecycle, stages of product lifecycle, and the benefits of product lifecycle in marketing. So those are the things that I'll be explaining today. All right, next slide. Next. Okay. So, looking at the definition we have here, product development life cycle is a systematic approach that organizations use to create, to design, and to launch new products or services. So it involves full cycle from transforming your idea into a market-ready solutions to manage it right to the point of post-launch of your product. So it requires cross-functional collaborations among your product managers, developers, designers, your testers, and other key stakeholders. So product development life cycle is a process that outlines all the stages that goes through the process before your product goes to your to the market. All of the stages, the process that has to take place before you are able to like deliver that product to your consumers. Next slide. So what are the importance of product development? Number one is to what? To drive innovation, also to help you meet your customers' needs, as well as enabling market competitiveness and to support business growth. Drive innovation in the sense that internally you rub minds with your team members, right? Everybody will come up with their own idea, and okay, this is what we are trying to work on. Because product development process happens internally, right? With your developer, your development team, that's the Scrum team. So it's not what is happening outside, it is what happens internally before the product became live. So it helps to drive innovation in the sense that by the time everybody comes together as a team, they're able to come up with an idea, and before you know it, the idea becomes something that is very innovative. Also, it also enables you to meet your customers' need. After you had done your research as a product manager, you're able to identify what your users want. You're able to know what their you're able to know what their challenges is. You're able to know what their motivation is, their goals is. You're able to know what exactly that they're expecting from your products. Then you can now carry out the product development phase, because you're able to identify all of those things before even working on the products. Also, it enables market competitiveness. Yes, you know what your competitors are doing as a result of what research. For every business, the goal of every business is for you to make profits. We all know that nobody is ready to exchange money for something that is not of value. So also, it also supports your business growth as well. I hope you understand that. We can't hear anything. Please confirm you can hear me. Can everyone hear me, please? Okay. I think someone said I can't hear you. Maybe you should just restart your system or whatever device you are using to, to join this class, because I think every other person can hear me. Thank you. All right. Next slide, please. All right. What are the sources of product ideas? We have two sources of product ideas. We have the internal sources and we also have the external sources. Like I always say something that nobody is an island of knowledge, isn't it? You can get idea anyway, and that idea will just like boom. Before you know it, it makes a lot of sense, and it becomes something that everybody would like to make use of. So internal source is talking about employees brainstorming. And that is why, as a product manager, like I said yesterday, that you cannot build a product alone. You need every of your team members to also be part of the project. So employee brainstorm is talking about the ideas that comes from your team members. And that is why you should welcome ideas. Let people think, let people contribute. Don't just be someone that is just saying, okay, this is what we want to achieve. No, let everybody talk, right? You can use Fijam as a tool whereby everybody will like be dropping their own idea. Okay, so person, oh, okay, this is my own idea about this. This is okay, we want to work on this particular application. What is your take about it? What is your own input about this? By the time you gather all of those ideas together, before you know it, you have a great idea that can serve as an exchange for cash or for value. Another person also, another internal source whereby you can get ideas from is from your customer support team, insight from their frequent user issues or requests. You can as well get idea from those guys because they have access to customers. They have gotten a lot of issues like questions, problems from customers. So as a result of that, they have an idea of, oh, this thing that you are trying to work on is something that I've experienced with a particular customer. And before you know it, it makes sense and it's to contribute to that for whatever product they are trying to achieve, and it make a lot of sense. The sales team also, they are the marketers. They go out, they know what is happening on social media, they have a lot of information and all of those things. So these are the people that can you can get ideas from. Even from your research and development team, you can also get idea from the research and development team, because these guys, they are always conducting, they are researchers as well. You can also ask for their own input. So don't be a woman in mopo whereby you don't want to welcome any idea. You cannot do it alone. And in terms of external sources as well, market research, you need to know what is happening out there. Data on trends, you know now. If you check social media, you can see a lot of things that are happening. There are new developments, innovations every day. So you have to put your ear, like it has to be very open, and you should be open to take um, ideas from those people. The best place you can actually get responses from, like that you can really get information from, is online. That's you can get a lot of information there. So those are the places that you can get ideas from. For example, you might decide that you want to work on an application that has to do with payments, right? And you have a mindset that, oh, it is only ATM card that they can use in making payments. Another person can decide to say that, how about wallet? If you can integrate wallet into that account, you don't necessarily need to pay using your ATM card if you don't want to use ATM to make payment, right? Or better still, transfer. I wanted to say transfer, not ATM, because ATM has to be physical. But then it's also a way for you to make payment. If you don't want to make transfer, you can decide to use your wallet, isn't it? You can decide to use your USSD code. It is somebody's idea, isn't it? So all of those things you have to. You might think that it's only one way for you to achieve a particular thing. But by the time you hear brilliant people around you, that you hear what they are saying, you'll be amazed that like for real. So you have this kind of wonderful idea. That is why you have to like what be open to listen to people. Do you understand? So and also industry trend, observing tech shifts and evolving consumer needs. Like you all know, if you're in the tech space, you have to be grounded. Like you have to be innovative. You have to learn. You have to be online. You have to know what is happening. You have to read news. You have to read articles, all of those. You need to know what is happening online. What is happening? What is the new updates? What is happening? We already know that, isn't it? All right, moving on. So we have about 8 stages. Some you can make research online. Some might be seven, some might be eight. It's kind of, but then the slide I prepared, we're having 8 stages of product development life cycle. So in case you check online, I think seven. Can be seven, it can be eight, depending. But yeah. So we have 8 stages of product development life cycle. And the first stage is what? Idea generation. Like I always say, you cannot just wake up one morning and say that you want to work on an application or you want to work on a product without being, without what's the word? Having to like um try to verify that idea. The idea has to come from somewhere. So the idea generation stage is whereby the team member has to brainstorm and gather ideas from both internal and external sources. The goal is for you to be able to identify problem that is faced by the target audience and explore multiple potential product solutions. Idea can come from anywhere. It can come as a result of inspiration. You might just sit down and just observe that what is going on. Like, it was somebody that made an that thought about we ladies that are very busy and realize that we don't have the luxury of time for us to be going to salon to make our hair. And person says like, oh, wig is a very good way for is a another means for you to be able to like cut away time and in terms of cash instead of you spending a lot of money making your hair and every 31 days you are losing it. Somebody thought about it that why not come up with a wig? If you have like 5 weeks, you are good to go. All you have to do is to be revamping and revamping. That is somebody's idea. That is somebody that sat down and realized that this can solve problem easily. So idea can come through like it can come anywhere as a result of discomfort. Then idea can come. Another person also thought about and if you want to like you want to cook and you don't have the time to even enter the kitchen to cook, somebody thought about an application that, oh, I render service, I cook and I deliver. I can cook from Monday to Friday. I'll send it to your doorstep. All you just have to do is to be microwaving. That's somebody's idea. So idea can come from anywhere. Idea will just come boom before you know it's exit for cash. So the first thing before you even think of developing any product is there has to be an idea. And after the idea, the next thing is idea screening. It's not all idea that is, that is viable. It's not all idea that is visible. So idea screening is what? As a result of you being able to like carry out a research to verify if that idea is something that can what that you can work on. So that at the end of the day, you not work on a wrong product or a wrong idea and you start shedding milk tears. Next slide. So, what are the ways in which you can screen your ideas? What are the ways in which you can verify your idea? Research, listening to your users, reading what is online, and yeah, as a result of that, you can gather information for them to evaluate your ideas to filter which one is visible, which one is not valuable. I think I've explained that. So the goal is just for you to be able to narrow the list to a particular product that is worth pursuing. Next slide. The next stage, the next stage is concept development and testing. The first stage I said was idea what generation. There has to be an idea before you start even thinking of working on any product. And the next stage is what? idea screening. You have to verify it if it is viable, if it is visible, if it is usable before you even start working on it. And what are the ways in which you can verify your idea? Through research, like extensive research, through competitive analysis, reaching out to your users, checking online your competitors, doing competitive analysis, SWOT analysis about that particular idea. So the next one is concept development and testing. So the selected ideas has been transformed into tangible products, which means that then it can be tested and refined based on the feedback from the target audience to ensure that it resonates with your potential customers. For example, for you to test a particular product, let's look at a software company, for example. The engineering team may have to create a simple mock-up or even just a wireframe for them to test the idea because it's a software company. So you have to create a wireframe for you to just test it, the idea. Oh, is this idea what's is it gonna work or it's not gonna work, right? So the next one, in the case of a business, for example, a business that manufactures physical products. Oh, I'm too fast. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. I'll slow down a bit. I'll slow down too fast. Okay, so in the case of a business that manufactures physical products, the team may want to build a physical prototype, something that looks like a product, just for them to be able to test the idea. But it is not like it doesn't have all the functionalities, isn't it? But just for you to be able to test if that thing is working or not. The goal is for them to be able to gather feedback from a focus group or a small set of customers. Can somebody give me an example of a product that you've used before, and after using that product you don't really like the outcome of that product and you were so pissed? That what kind of product it is? It can be an application that you've used before, and you're not really happy about the product. Does anybody have any experience in that regard? Let me check responses. I'm not going to mention any application right here, but I'm reading the comments. Okay, you're not happy about that. Okay, I'm seeing those comments. It's currently my brand. Okay, can you imagine? So look at it. Exactly. So for these products that you've listed out, right? If they have a product manager, right? I can see everybody's responses on the channel. I can see everybody's responses. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, there's only a particular app that pisses me off. Like it pisses me off, but I'm not going to mention that app. And I knew if I should mention that app too. Everybody is experiencing such thing. Exactly. They have app exactly. So yeah, if those applications, if they have a product, if they have probably, I'm sure they will definitely have a product manager. Such product manager is expected to carry out research, right, to know what the users are going through. Because if you fail to gather feedback from your users, you are just working towards the client phase. We are not there yet, but when we get there, we explain. So stage three is concept development and testing. So they are just testing the mock-up of the product as well as the prototype of that product to figure out if that idea is if that idea is gonna work out or not. Yeah. So next slide. All right. The next one is business analysis. And four, please. Yeah, business analysis. Like I mentioned, that for every organization, the goal is for them to make money. That's the real thing. Money. That's the goal, for them to generate profits. So this stage it involves thorough financial and potential analysis. And for them to make this decision, they need to consider factors like production costs. They need to understand that what's the cost of them developing a product. There are so many startups that they will just start with an idea, and at the end of the day, you know, they will not be able to like complete the project because they don't have enough cash. So as a product manager also, all of this thing has to be in place before you even start, to even start developing any products. Do you understand? So stage four is saying that in terms of finance, this product, is it worth pursuing? And if yes, what is production cost? Number two, what is the pricing strategy that you want to use? Are you using penetration pricing model? Are you using scheming? What kind of pricing strategy do you want to use to determine the right pricing model, right? And also, what is the projected sales volume? You have to estimate that how many units of these products are likely to be sold over a specific period of time. I also need to understand the competitive landscape by knowing the competitors in the market in order for you to be able to analyze your competitors in the markets so that you can figure out the threats and the strengths and the opportunities that it's happening. Somebody is, people are still dropping the, oh my God, people are really pissed though. Like the numbers of applications I'm seeing on the chat box is overwhelming, really. So all this app you're experiencing, you're having a bad experience about them, you can send them a mail. Honest, I think I've done that. There is one application I use. I will not mention it. I sent them a mail, and they responded, and they were able to even work on it, which is quite good. So if you are experiencing any challenges, send them a mail. You can send them a mail. It works. All right. So the next one that we have, I've mentioned how many? I've mentioned like four. I said we have the first one is what? Idea generation. The second one is idea screening. The third one is concept development and testing. The next one is business analysis. And the next one is what? Product development. Because once you're able to, you have the idea, you've screened the idea, you've done your normal testing, like you've done the mock-up, the prototype of that product to discover if this thing is going to work or not. You're able to identify it, right? And the next thing you just have to do, we spoke about business analysis, that's the finance part of it. Also, that's the stage four. All of these things has to be in place. Then the next stage is what? Product development. I'm going to ask all these stages at the end of the class. So just take note of all the stages. So for product development, stage five is product development. And product development is that once the concept is validated and is considered that is financially viable, then the actual product development can begin. Like I mentioned to you that stage three, what's being used in testing the idea is just mock-up, wireframe, right? And just a prototype. It doesn't have all the it doesn't have all the functionalities, but they're able to like test it. It looks like it, but it is not it. But the way it is something that they can easily test for them to be able to test the idea. Do you understand? So the next thing is after it has been tested and they've considered it that it's financially viable, then that's when the Scrum team they'll start building the product. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. So for every product that you are seeing out there, it's went through all of these stages. All these products you are seeing, you really need to know what's happened at the back end. You feel like, oh my god, so this is what is really happening at the back end. Yes, it is. So once those things are in place, then the Scrum team will start building. That's stage five. The next one, after the product is being built, the next thing is what? Testing and validating. So the Scrum team, the development team, they've already built it, right? And the next thing is for them to test and validate it. So the development team will undergo a rigorous the QA testers, they are going to undergo rigorous testing to ensure that compliance with safety regulations, quality standard and expected performance. So under testing and validations, we have two types of testing. Number one, the first testing is alpha testing, and we have more than this, right? But I only have two on this slide. You can do your own personal research to learn more. So the first thing they're going to do is alpha testing. Alpha testing is conducted internally by the development team for them to be able to identify whatever issues or bug that might be happening on the application they are working on or whatever product that is being worked on. While the beta testing is conducted with a selected group of users outside the development team, The goal is for them to be able to gather with feedback and uncover any issues that might be faced in the process. So the next one is commercialization. For commercialization is the launch and the go-to-market phase. So after successful testing and validation, then the product is ready for launch. Even for the launching, for launch also, the go-to-market strategy, we have the pre-launch. That one is another topic entirely. We have pre-launch, we have launch, and we have post-launch. So those are your market strategy. All of those things, each of those stages, there are activities on each of those stages, but we get there, right? So once you've identified the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth stages, then the next one is launching and go to the market. So after successful testing and validation, the product is ready for launch. And this phase involves detailed marketing by crafting and executing a marketing strategy that creates awareness and generates interest in the product. Sales and distribution also, it also means that you're implementing those sales strategies by using distribution channels to ensure that the product reaches the target audience effectively. It's a lot of money for you for running ads online and all of those things. It's a whole lot of money that is being used for one to another thing is you worked on a product. It's another work for you to get to your final users. There's a lot of work that's put into it. And also it's not just getting to your getting to the market alone, but getting to the right people. So there are a lot of work behind the scene that has to be worked on. I hope you understand that as well. So the next one, stage 8. Who knows what stage 8 is? That's post launch. So the product has been launched, right? And after the product has been launched, there's another thing called post launch monitoring and improvements. That is when the gardening stage. If you're in class yesterday, I mentioned one of the hacks that I mentioned was that a product manager is a gardener. I mentioned that. So the gardener that I was talking about is this stage, this post launch, because the product has been launched, and after the product has been launched, it has to be watered. And how do you water it? Like all these issues that everybody is saying on the chat channel, right? Oh, I'm too fast. Uh, okay. I think I need to be a bit slower. I'm too fast. Okay, the person that said I'm too fast, where exactly, or what exactly did you miss? Let me slow down a bit. Yes, Gardner, monitoring users' feedback and making necessary improvements. Yeah. Okay. So if there's anything you've missed, let me know. Okay. Please, um, we didn't see the slide for the fifth stage. Can you take me back to the fifth slide, please? The fifth stage. Fifth, thank you. The fifth, five. That's product development. Yeah, that's product development. Yeah. So, stage 5 is the product development. Can somebody list out the first four stages for me on the channel? What's the first stage? Can somebody list out the first stage for me? Okay, I'm going to help you. I said the first stage is idea generation, right? And the second stage is what? Idea screening. Thank you, Damilola. And the third stage is what? Who knows the third stage? What's the third stage? Once the idea has been screened, what's the next thing? What's the third stage? I want to know who is writing, who is jotting. Concepts. For third stage, concepts, development, and testing. Wow, nice one. So, what's the fourth stage? business analysis. Then we have the product development. Thank you. I like the fact that please listen. And I mean, like I always tell people that if you are spending 2 hours of your time on a particular thing and you're not getting value, please go, just it's better for you to sleep. So as much, because you're on this call, you're using your data, you're using your time, and try as much as possible to take advantage, right? Take advantage of it and listen. If you know that you are not getting value in anything, ask questions and voice out. Okay? Don't waste 2 hours of your time. It's better than instead of wasting, just go to bed and sleep or be playing game. If I tell people I prefer playing game than wasting my time on something that is not relevant, because while I'm playing game, I'm tasking my brain, isn't it? So I cannot just be wasting my time. Is very precious. So please try as much as possible to get as much value that you can get on this for this teaching. So yeah, so for stage 5, are we good? All right, good. So stage 5 is you've validated the concepts, you've checked, you've done your due diligence, you've tested it and all. Then the Scrum team will build it. So let's move to the last stage, which is the post-launch stage that I was talking about. All right, thank you. So, post-launch monitoring and improvement. After the product is being launched, it is important for you to keep. Don't worry, I'll slow down. I'm not going to talk too fast. I'll slow down. So, post-launch monitoring. After the product is launched, it is important that you keep monitoring it and you gather feedback from your users. Imagine the numbers of people on this channel now. Just look at the complaint about product that you're experiencing frustration on. And these guys, they're not even aware that you're experiencing this, isn't it? So this is what a product manager is expected to do that after the product has been launched, because I believe that agile approach is what it is expected that every organization should use, not waterfall, right? So waterfall is more of you just trying to build a product. Like, I mean, you don't even want to check if at a particular phase maybe there's a problem. You want to build from start to finish. But agile is encouraging changes. You can always change. When you complete a particular phase, you check, you iterate, you move to the next phase. So I believe that every organization has a kind of framework, agile framework that they are adopting. So as an agile product manager, so once a product is being launched, it is expected that you get feedback. And I mentioned that you can get feedback by doing what? Conducting research on your product. Oh, we are using our product. You can literally hear from them, in as much that you know who your target audience are. And that's why it's very important that before you work on any product, you do your what? Your research. Who are you target? Every product is not for everybody. I hope you know that. If you look at iPhone, for example, iPhone has their own target audience. Do you understand? iPhone is not for everybody. They have who that they are targeting. Android as their own target audience, or what example can I give? It's a good example. So your product is not for everybody. It is not. It is for some specific set of persons. So if you already have your target audience, for example, I like using what's it called, pad. Yeah, that's for ladies. We use pad, isn't it? I like using that as an example because I'm a female, right? We know that pad is for female, right? That's still menstruating, isn't it? So we already know that women between the ages of maybe 15 or 14, depending on your research, right? Maybe 14 to probably maybe 60, they are still menstruating. Those are your target audience. So if you want to get feedback, you should know those are the set of people that you'll be targeting. So that is why it is important that when you're working on any product, iPhone and Samsung, okay now, okay. Yeah, they have their own target audience. Do you understand? So for your own products, since you already have those things in place, it's very easy for you to get feedback from them. Very easy. You know who to get that information from. So don't be a product manager that after your product is launched, you now relax with launch, especially when maybe when you first launch your products and maybe you're able to get a certain amount of money and all of those things. You're like, oh, I'm balling. Before you close your eye, before you open it like this, you just enter the client stage straight out. Do you understand? So feedback is very important. in order for you to get to be able to improve on your products. So put your like be open, like always be open your heart, your ear to always want to gather feedback from your user. And that's why most time when you use app, you use some applications, your NPS score, for example, they'll ask you that are you still how and what is the assurance for you to be able to refer someone for this product? They will ask you that the reason is because they want to know what your experience is like. And I think I used even was it Google Meet after our online meeting, there was a prompt that came up that I should rate them. Why do you think they are asking you to rate them? Because they want to know if they are really if they are really meeting the needs of their users. And please, another thing I want to tell you also, if you are giving a feedback about any product, if they ask you, be honest. Don't be biased. If it is not good, it is not good. Cannot beat you. In fact, they'll be happy that you are giving them feedback. Do you know there are some products that they have to pay customers for them to give an honest review because they know the importance of feedback. So whenever you get a prompt on your phone that you should give an honest review about a product, just say it the way it is. If it is bad, it is bad. If they are even asking for additional comment, write it. Me, I used to write back. I write it because I have an understanding of why they are asking because they want to what they want to improve on their product. Okay, so now you're a product manager. So now that you have the understanding, if you are launching a product and after you've launched it, right, do what is expected of you by doing what get feedback. I think there was a time there was this product that I had to like send a mail. I think I mentioned it. Was it yesterday? I've mentioned it earlier on. I sent a mail to them. I said this application that I'm using, your photo quality is very low. I sent a mail to them and they responded. There's even a product I'm using. I don't want to mention it, but if I'm explaining, you understand. So they launched that product. I'm a big fan of this product. So I bought the headsets and I told them I don't like this color. Why is it green? Why not do other colors like black? So, and they responded. And before you know it, they launched another one and it is black. It has a touch of green. I said I don't like green. I dropped it on their channel. And they said, yeah. And they welcomed it. They said, okay. And now they've launched the new black. Like recently, they launched a black headset of that is purely black. It doesn't have the touch of green, which is their logo. I'll not mention the products, but I'm sure that some people will definitely know the product I'm talking about. So they welcome feedback. Exactly. So all right, moving on. So after the product has been launched, the product life cycle began. Bakari Afolabi, oh my god. How did you guys know? Exactly, that's a product, but I'm not going to mention it, right? Exactly. I knew that you guys would know it. I know. Yeah, you're right. So that's the product. That's the product, you're right. So so in conclusion, product development, yeah, product development is a complex and iterative process. Successful companies prioritize continuous innovations to stay competitive and adapt to evolving customer needs. While the steps in product development may vary, it may vary, like I mentioned. You know, I say you can check online, you can get seven, you can, it depends on the industry, the company size, and the product type. So, but the fundamental principle is of iteration and testing and feedback are very crucial for success. I know that people will know the product I'm talking about. I trust you. I'm not going to say anything. So now that we are done with product development process, now it has moved from internal development and now it is shipped outside, right? So that is when the product life cycle takes place. So that's the next slide. So now we are moving on to product life cycle. But we have a quick exercise to do, guys. Share a personal experience where you gave feedback on the products that you were using and the feedback contributed to improvements or changes that is made in the product's next update or release. Like I mentioned to you guys, I've had two experiences, which is you've already testified to that already, and it worked because of what? Because I had it, I don't like it, and I told them, and they welcomed the idea, and now I have what I want. So let's have your response on the chat on the chat box. What experience have you had, and have you gotten feedback as those changes been made? Share. I'm waiting to read. Make una, I don't know what is happening on this channel like this. Oh God. You, I don't understand. You should free this guy if I see it on the channel. I'm waiting. Give us your experience. Share a personal experience. I'm a big fan of them. Everything I'm using, my device, my wristwatch, even my AirPod that I'm using is from them. I love them a lot. Like they're authentic. Oh, okay. Somebody said Fidelity Bank and MTN customer care called. After then they improved it. Of course, like there's no organizations that don't welcome feedback. No, there's no organization, especially those that want to grow. I don't do feedback, but now that I'm a product manager, I know better. I will do better. I just abandon the app if it is not feeling it. If I'm not feeling it, I have not make out time to monitor any of my feedback. Please do, very important. Especially MTN, they won't respond. They will. Maybe you should send a reminder to them. Do you know the numbers of people that are sending mail to them? You should understand this better. Like, do you know the numbers of people that is sending mail? If you don't get feedback, follow up, send a reminder to them. They will. I sent a message to WhatsApp to add stickers to status for Android, like they did for iPhone. I sent them a mail and commented on the Play Store, and they added it next. They added it. I'm sure the person wants to say last week, Abby. You can't send it. See, feedback is like gold to them. They want to hear the, in fact, they prefer hearing the bad things most times. Yes, because they want to improve it. And you know why? It's because there are a lot of competitors out there. You know, look at all these payment applications that we are using. If one of these app, I'll not mention any app. If this app, if one app is messing up or the time is very slow and it's taking forever for you to complete your transaction, you can delete it and move to another app and install it ASAP. In 5 minutes, you are done. So because they have the understanding, that is why they want to hear from you. Jumia, whenever a good was returned, they take time to refund the money, send them a mail to, and send them a tweet, and they rectified it. Can you see? Can you see how important those feedback are to them? I bought this tissue and I told them it was too soft, and they changed it and they made it soft, stronger. Wow, Chineye, what? Imagine. I like that. This person said I don't give feedback, but would change. Yes, you have to. I honestly do not give feedback. Oh. You have to start giving. To be a product manager now, you understand. But then you launch a product like this that, hmm, let me not say anything. Jumia delivered the right product with low quality. I got a refund and it helped, and the vendor improved the quality of their item. Amazing. Laundry service, the long time before completion of laundry work, they improved it. I gave a feedback on ITIL and they improve it. Most time I ignore, you have to start writing feedback, okay? Omo go TV app keep asking me if I enjoy their service. Can you see? So you can see the numbers of responses I'm getting. So to show how important this thing are to them. So please give honest feedback. If it is terrible, tell them it is terrible. They will be very happy. Don't say that you don't want them to feel bad. In fact, they are super excited because they want to improve. They want to improve. Uh-uh. Somebody said, I'm not going to read down. I don't want to because I have that experience too. But I'm not going to. But I understand. Fumilayo, give feedback. They will. I'm sure they will give you response. I gave a feedback on accelerate quality of interface, and it was upgraded. Amazing. Come. No, this is product management class, not product design. They never give feedback. Reliance Care Hub. Please send a reminder to them. They have a lot of emails they are getting. You'll send a reminder. And when you are sending a mail, not that you just write a whole episode that is going to take like just go straight to the point. Hi, good day. This is the challenges I'm facing on your app. Kindly upgrade or improve on this service. They will reply. They will reply. All right. I love the fact that everybody's engaged in this channel. It shows that we are paying attention. Yes, so don't go and writing a piece too. They don't have time to read though. They have a lot of mail to read. Just like go straight to the points. Yeah, thank you. So now that we have an understanding of product development life cycle, so we are moving on to what? Product life cycle. All right. So the next slide, please. So who can tell me? No, I don't want them to see the definition, please. Take it back. I know they are very sharp. They've gotten that definition, but let me hear it from them first. So now that you have an understanding of product development life cycle, so tell me what is product life cycle? You know, I mentioned that product development life cycle happens internally, right? That is how the product is being built, isn't it? So now the product is outside, it's no longer inside again. So now product life cycle. Who can tell me what it is? What does it mean? We don't see how. Oh yeah, if it's short for you just drop definition. Pardon my pidgin, please. So what is product life cycle? Product life cycle at the state of faith, complete your definition. What happens after the product has been launched? Fantastic, very short, straight to the point. I love that. Elizabeth. Product life cycle is the process of uh, introduction of the product to you even saw my definition. You saw that definition. That's why people are giving it. They're giving me that definition like that. Those people didn't get the thing. But I like it. I will start giving feedback after knowing the importance. I like that, precious. Olumuyiwa, I got that response. Are you serious? I'm not sure that's okay. Oh, you say so, but I'm not sure that's right. I don't think they spied on our conversation. But then, if you say so, then I'll have to do my own research about that. Okay, product life cycle is a concept in marketing that describes the stages of products that goes through from its introduction to the market until it is removed or replaced. I love that. I know I have senior managers on this course, so I'm not surprised. Product life cycle is the time after launch. I like that. Product life cycle are stages that product from its initial concept to when it is retired from the market. It is a time frame from when the product is first introduced throughout the life cycle until it is withdrawn. Fantastic definition, everyone. All right, before giving the definition of a product life cycle, there's a way I used to define my product when I want to define product life cycle. I say product life cycle is the point at which a pregnant woman undergo, right, right to the point in which um, the woman put to bed. I mean, the antenatal stages and all the medicine, all of those things. And after the person put to bed, right, you have your baby, right? Then your baby started growing up, right? Went to school, got married, got older, and went back to his or her creator. So I now say that product development life cycle is the process of getting pregnant. I believe everybody knows the process, isn't it? We're all adults, we're matured here. So product development life cycle, I'm talking about development now. It's the process. And what is the process of getting pregnant? Like getting married, do all of those things, do whatever, all those processes, and you got pregnant. So now after getting pregnant, right? Then you gave birth, right? So giving birth, after giving birth, you have the baby. That is when the product life cycle begin for the child, isn't it? So the baby is born, right? Then the process of growing, all the activities until you are probably maybe you're 200 years old and you went back to your creator. I don't know if that definition makes sense. I think that's the best way I can just, if somebody asks you to define it as a layman, I can just say it that way. I hope it makes sense. So let's go on a short break, guys. So we start from here when we are back. Thank you. All right, welcome back, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Please confirm you can hear me. People are still on this matter. I mean, I've moved on. Oh. I've moved on. All right, so yeah, welcome back. So I was explaining. Okay, so let's try to fill our attendance because it's very important that you fill your attendance as well. It's part of the things that we use in measuring your to rate you as a student by the time you are done with the program. So let's do that in the next 1 minute. Attendance is very important too. For you to graduate. So do it. All right. So you can just check the description below. The link is there. So quickly click on it, fill the attendance. Very important. All right, welcome back, guys. So, okay, can you hear me? Nice one. Okay, all right. Okay, so we stopped at by defining what product life cycle is. So now, like I mentioned, I said the definition of product life cycle is the stages of growth and decline a product experience in between when it was introduced to consumer and when it's discontinued. And I've given a classic example using a child as an example, right? So moving on, I hope we can differentiate between product life cycle and product development life cycle. They are two different things. So stages, who can tell me the first? Why did you show us? I'm not sure they will see it. They didn't see it. It was just a flash. All right, can someone just list out the just give me first stage of first stage of product life cycle? Who knows? Someone should just drop it. What's the first stage of product life cycle? That's why you just drop it. No volume. Let me increase my volume. I'm suspecting Mr. Slim. Mr. Slim, you need to tell me, are you a senior PM? Are you a senior? I think you are. You are. With your response, it shows that you're a senior PM. Why are you on this call? You just gave us all the time. I only asked for the first thing. I didn't ask for everything. You just mentioned everything. I like that. I like that. Correct. Yeah, introduction, conception. Yeah, conception, introduction, discovery. You saw introduction. Somebody captured everything. Oh, can you imagine? Okay. Deborah, introduction stage. Okay. Okay, introduction to the market. All right, it shows that we are following because once a product has been launched into the market, so the next thing is what introduction phase, isn't it? And like I always say, please, if you're on this channel, try to connect with the people on this channel. Like I mentioned yesterday, connect, connect with people on this call so that they can encourage you when you maybe when you are down or you need somebody to motivate you. But I understand that motivation comes for the innermost, I mean your inner mind, but then when you have people around that you have the same value system, it encourages you to just, not to give up. So be smart enough. You can connect on LinkedIn. We're having class tomorrow. Oh, we're having class today. What were you able to learn? Can you break it down? Oh, this let me send you a particular link about this. Prepare it. Since you have the curriculum already, you can read ahead of class. Look for an accountability partner on this call. You can just tag say it on this chat like I'm looking for an accountability partner. You can just connect maybe one, two, or three or five, and you guys should just start your PM journey together. All the friends I met during my boot camp, we are doing everybody's doing like they are doing perfectly okay, like they are fine, and we are still updating ourselves, we are growing, we are still developing ourselves. So please make use of that opportunity. Don't just be here and just say my own is just learn and get out. Connect here. Do you understand? Connect. Try to connect with people. That's it about that. It just came to my mind that I should share it with you again. So if you know you are looking for accountability partner, just drop it there. Drop. I'm looking for accountability partner. My name is this or something like. Just find a way to connect. Okay. Thank you. So stages of product life cycle. Yeah, we all mentioned this, which is correct. Introduction stage, growth stage, maturity stage, and decline stage. That's quite good. All right. So introduction phase. Introduction phase is the phase in which that the product is being launched into the market, and that is when you have to like be aggressive with your marketing because nobody knows you yet. You're just trying to like get familiar with your account, with your I said with your accountability partner. You're just trying to get familiar with your target audience. So yeah, this stage is the stage in which that you have to conduct an aggressive marketing. You need to introduce your market to your target audience with, through marketing, not just marketing alone. And during this phase also, in terms of pricing, like there are some people that during introduction phase they'll decide to like increase their price. Maybe they launched a new product, and this phase, some people might just decide that they want to like increase the prices for their products or whatever. At the end of the day, I don't think it's the best thing to do, right? So this phase is a phase whereby I expect that you try to even first of all gain your customer base first before you now try to like, okay, now this is me and all of those. No, this phase you just have to like bring your price to the lowest. I'm not saying lowest. I'm sure before you launched your products, you've done your analysis, right? And all of those things. But this is the stage whereby you need to try, and that's why some applications they will tell you that you should use it. Some might even tell you that you should sign up. They'll first of all give you free access to their applications. That after 3 months, then you have to subscribe. Right? Do you know why they are doing that? Because they are still trying to gain your heart. And when they win your heart, yeah, do you understand? You start paying. So that's the phase where a lot of money will be put into it for your customers to be able to like um, get familiar with your products. Can you name an example of a product at the moment that is in this phase, currently at the market? There is an introduction phase. Can you mention one? There's an introduction phase that at the moment they are newly introduced. Don't worry, you can always connect. But I mean, I like the fact that you are doing that already. But I also want us to engage the channel so that I can be sure that we are connected. All right. So let's just focus first. Let's get the value we want to get on this call. Then after, then we can also continue with is it connection I will call our networking. Yeah, networking. All right. I love that. So Temu is currently in their introduction phase. Exactly, lengthy. Because these guys they are trying to like to gain your hearts. I like that. Zap. Yeah, they are currently in their what introduction phase. You can see, yeah, so that's BG, that's correct. That's correct. Blessing, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. I love that. So during this phase is when you just have to like, they'll be so nice and they just try to like do everything at your own comfort to make things comfortable for you. Buy one and take four for free. Buy two and take five for free. You think all those things is because they like you, Abby. I hear you. It is because they want to win your heart. It's just like a let me know use that illustration. I don't want to use that illustration. But you guys only, I'm sure that you already have an idea of the illustration I want to use. I know you know it, but then once they just win your heart like this, you know, I'll stop there. I'll not say more than that. Okay, so the next one is the growth phase, and the growth phase is the phase in which that okay, the product gains acceptance and demand increases. So during this phase, your sales growth will grow rapidly and your competitors may also enter the market and your product's profitability will rise. So once your product has been introduced to the market, from that stage, you know you'll be having somebody is laughing. Um Annabelle, can you tell me why you're smiling? What's funny? Can you share that with us on the channel? Okay. So during growth phase, right, everybody knows that your product is existing, right? And then there's probability that you have a competitor because you know that this person is out and this person is cashing out. Okay, we have to do something similar. And then that is when you just also have to like be thinking of how you can also come up with a new idea on how you can do something that will also, that will give you an upper edge over your competitor. But during your growth phase, your product is known, right? But yeah, you are still growing. You know your sales is growing bit by bit. But the difference between this growth and introduction is just that here you are known already, but you already have a competitor already. But your profits will be rising. Do you understand? Which one is breakfast again now? What's going on the chat box? I'm seeing breakfast. I don't understand. Okay, so after growth phase, then we move to maturity phase. So for maturity phase, the product reaches its peak in terms of market share and sales. Your growth might be slow and your competition is very intense. You know why it is intense? Because they already know you. So your company will focus on differentiation and cost reduction. Somebody mentioned that you've already mentioned the product that are currently in their introduction phase, right? So for growth phase now, mention any products that you've experienced that is currently in their growth phase. I understand that okay, Temu is currently in their introduction phase. That's correct. Zap introduction phase. That's correct. And so many other ones that are also in this. But how about growth phase? Can you mention the ones that are in their growth phase? OPay. OPay is in, are you sure? Growth phase for OPay. Are you sure OPay is not in their maturity phase? Are you sure? OPay. I don't think OPay is in growth phase. Oh. Money points, growth phase. Yeah, I think Glovo, yeah. That one can be, I think. I agree. I think Glovo is in their growth phase. But for OPay, I'm not really sure that Opay is in their growth. I think Opay should be in their maturity phase. Opay is in their growth phase. Wow. Yeah, I agree with you, Mr. Slim. Yeah, okay, yeah. Start time. Viva detergents. Cow deck. Piggy best. Okay. Exactly. Opay cannot be in growth phase. I think Opay should be in their maturity phase. Yeah, Opay cannot be in growth phase. Exactly. Yeah, Olalekan. Yeah, exactly. Opay cannot growth phase. No, no. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for engaging that chat. I like that. It shows everybody's listening. Good. So let me now ask you, as a product manager, what phase are you? Are you in introduction? Okay, let me finish the definition. When I finish explaining, then I will now ask you that as a product manager, what phase are you at the moment? Are you in introduction phase? Are you in growth phase? But you answer that later. That'll be at the end of the class. So moving on, maturity phase. So the maturity phase is when the product has already reached its peak. Somebody said growth. I'm not sure you're in the growth phase. You're still in the introduction phase. Yes, Deborah, you're not in the growth phase yet. Okay, that'll be at the end of the class. Let's just hold that for now. All right. So exactly. Yeah. Okay. So maturity phase reaches its peak in terms of market share and sales, and the growth is going to be slow, and competition is intense. And this phase now, you don't really need to engage in like an aggressive marketing like that. Do you understand? Because you are well known, company will now focus on differentiation and cost reduction. This is when you might not decide like, oh, let's have another branch in maybe one location, or maybe in another country because they've reached their peak. Can somebody mention a product that is already in a maturity phase right now? That in fact, these products they don't used to do advertisements again. I hardly see the advertisement online. In fact, people will be paying for that product before the product is launched. They'll just tell you that this product is going to come out. Also, this version is to be out. And the next, people are paying in advance for that product. That's how massive, that's how matured they are in the market. Can somebody give me an example of a product that They those that has already reached maturity phase. Oh, Adeshewal, I love that. Yeah, iPhone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can see, yeah, Dangote Sugar, Goldie Penny. WhatsApp is in their maturity stage. Even despite the fact that WhatsApp is in their maturity phase, they are still what? They are still upgrading themselves. They are still updating themselves. Exactly. Benz, Nike, okay, Amazon, TikTok. I love the fact that everybody on this channel, like everybody's, we are thinking outside the box. I love that. Yeah, I love that. Facebook, Google. Google, yeah. Google is in their maturity phase. In fact, if there's another word that is more than maturity, you can use it for them. Unilag, okay, Techno, Samsung, iPhone, Telegram, Fair Money, app, Pay Money app, Apple products. To go app? No, you are mixing it, guys. To go is in their maturity phase. Nah, to go is in their decline phase. Which maturity? No, don't mix it though. I hope you have an understanding of these whole stages. To go as in fact, to go as what other word can I use for to go sef? I don't even know the word I can use for to go. Decline is exactly. You can't say today is maturity. Okay. So I am very happy that everybody knows they have an understanding of each phase. So as a product manager, it is important that you conduct all of this research and you are getting feedback and you are innovating at every stages. The fact that you launched a product does not mean that you should not cross your leg and be drinking and be enjoying soft life. But before you open your eyes like this, you just meet yourself in decline phase. Once a product is being launched, your competitors are not sleeping. They are not sleeping. Like they are not. So that is why you have to be thinking outside the box that we need to add one more features. So it is that features that you are adding that is going to be your unique proposition on your product that will distinguish you from your competitors. Because you always have a competitor, it is better. Like I always make an example. I said like I was saying, I think one of my classes, the physical class, I was making an example that even as an individual, if you look at Gen Z and Millennium, for example, a Millennium that is still doing like a Millennium that does not read, that does not try to even gather information that it says because I'm a Millennium. Before you know it, Gen Z will they're even overtaking already. That's the truth. So if a millionaire is doing as if that you don't want to, you just find that out. They just there's something they used to call it in Yoruba. I don't want to say they just this. I hope you understand. They just I don't want to say it Yoruba. You just be left behind. That's the word. This is even as an individual, as a human being, as a whole. Like if you are not upgrading yourself, if you are not reading, if you are not developing yourself, if you are not getting skills, there's probability that you meet yourself in decline phase. So even as a person, try as much as possible to also be developing yourself. And I'm very happy that at least you took up the boldness and this thing to come and apply for this skill. That means that you really love growth. Do you understand? So if that applies to us as an individual, how about the products that we are working on? So be a lover of growth. Don't say because something happened yesterday that's the same thing that will still happen the following day. No, growth. Like we would always be curious. Do you understand? To know, to get better day by day. Do you understand? So now decline phase. There's another stage that is called revival, kind of. After a product has been declined, right? You can see it can still be revived, kind of. But for you to revive a product, you have to like do a research. You need to know what really happened that your products had to get to that decline phase. So decline phase is when your 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 users are no longer interested in your product. Probably they've gotten another better competitors that can provide your a better service to them and value, and they stop using your product. So sales and your profit begin to decrease because there is no newer innovations, there is changes in customer preferences, and there's market saturation, and your company may discontinue or phase out. That is why at every point in time, you should always be carrying out a research that, oh, what would you like to see differently? Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy, right? Don't be lazy. Be find time to, maybe you have like some few questions that you always ask. You already know your customer base, you have your customer base, you have your target audience already. So just try as much as possible to be able to like, okay, what would you like to see differently on this app? What would you like? And they'll tell you. I think there was an application that I used that they were asking me that what would I like as per as is their customer, like what would they like to see differently? And I told them, just I cannot remember the app. If I remember, I'll share before the end of the class. And I said it. And they said, okay. Why? Because they don't want to lose me. So product manager should always be at alert, like always be willing to hear from your users so that you don't enter decline phase. So can somebody just give me an example? Okay, you have even listed it. I've not even asked. And you've started listing out the products that are already in decline phase. Can you see? Facebook is also in decline phase. Ah, who said so? No, who says Facebook is in decline phase? No, that's wrong. In fact, Facebook is in their maturity phase. Decline. How? That was wrong. Hey, Grace, are you sure you're in this class? Are you sure that you're in this class? I'm not sure you're in this class. Blackberry, exactly. I remember those days that, can I have your pin? Who will ever believe that Blackberry, we enter decline phase? Yahoo at the moment, Yahoo is in decline phase because people don't really use Yahoo like that, but it's still active. So yeah, Lipton tea is in decline phase. To go out, to go and escape me. I remember when I was in school then, primary, I think maybe primary school, I can't remember, that we have to like, you want to like, it has different stages for to go. So you also like move from professional to expert and all of those things. I can't even remember. But now they fail to innovate and they have to wind up. Cowbell. Cowbell. Is Cowbell in decline? Yeah, I think. Yeah, Cowbell is in decline phase. Yeah, I didn't even notice. Mr. Biggs. Yes. So yeah. So elephant detergent. Wow. I'm happy that everybody on this call, CBEX is way low. Okay. Which other one? Well, I have a lot of comments on the chat, but I might not be able to read everything. DVD players, yes, the rewinder. They don't use rewinder again. Who even uses cassettes these days? Swiss edition. Swiss edition is not in decline phase, so precious. I think they are not in decline phase. Yeah, we see your official email. Somebody says CVS is not in any phase. All right. So now that we have an understanding of introduction, growth, maturity, and decline phase, so now as the product manager, what phase are you? So I always tell my students that you've made a decision to be a product manager. Try as much as possible to get to the level of that maturity phase. Do not get to decline phase. And I used to ask my students whenever I'm teaching, I'll just tell them, I don't want you guys to be in decline phase, so to just be laughing. No, don't worry, I'm moving to the growth phase very soon. But currently, I'm in the introduction phase and all of that. Exactly. So you're currently in your introduction phase. Don't worry. I'm sure with commitment, you get to your maturity phase. Please, I don't want anybody to be in decline phase. Decline phase is when you give up on product management. But don't give up. You've got this, and I'm rooting for everyone on this call. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah, introduction phase. All right, so for growth stage of the product life cycle, these are the summary of the characteristics and objective. So for growth, I think we're supposed to have introduction, and that should be a mistake on my part. But then start from growth phase. So for growth phase, That's when the sales will be rapidly rising, like I mentioned. Then the cost, the average cost per customers, then your profit will be rising. That's for growth stage, and for your marketing objective to maximize your market share. And your products will be offering extension, service, and warranty for your users. You'll be giving them like maybe a 1 year and all of those things warranty. And for your prices will be penetration strategy. Distribution also is to build intensive distribution, and your promotion will reduce to take advantage of your demand. You don't really need to conduct an extensive, like an aggressive marketing compared to when you're in your introduction phase. Next one, please. Somebody said Nigeria is in a decline phase. I don't understand what's going on this chat box. What's going on? I don't understand. Next slide, please. What is happening? Next slide, please. I don't know what is happening on that chat box. Let me just sound like I didn't see it. Okay. So for introduction stage of the PSC, that's product life cycle. So the summary and the characteristic also is for sales. Like I mentioned, the sales will be a bit low because you are still trying to create awareness. So for introduction phase, you are not after profits. But what are you trying to do? You are just trying to win their hearts. So if you are money conscious at your introduction phase, you are not doing yourself any good. So this is when you are going to try to like win their heart first, convince them. You can even give them extra packages and all of those things, just for you to win their hearts. Yeah, and the cost is also high cost per customer because the advertisement of you the for you to win the heart of a customer, like a particular customer, one person is very expensive for you to convince. The process of you to even be able to convince one person. So if you now lose one customer, that is a loss. So the cost of even winning the heart of one customer is quite high. So try not to. So for you not to lose that customer, you need to put in the work because the work of getting them it's a whole lot of work you have to put into it. So treat them like a king and queen that they are. All right. So profits it's usually negative sometimes and it's low because introduction phase you spend a lot of money. You are not after the money first. You just want to win their heart first. So for marketing objective, we create product awareness, we give them free trials and all of that. Then products they offer basic products. Their prices is usually is high. Price is usually high. I mean the price of you having to put the product into for you to be able to like take it to the market is usually high. The price of you bringing your product to the market is usually high, and then high distribution expenses, your marketing, running of ads. If you know how much they are paying for running ads, it's a whole lot of money that is being spent on it. Advertising, you need to build product awareness among your early adopters and your dealers, people that whenever the product comes out, they want to try it, and all. Those are the innovators though. But then, yeah. So, next slide, please. Maturity stage. So, sales has already reached peak sales, and your cost is low cost per customer because you've already won their hearts. That is where you can ask, okay, even if you not do advertisement, they will buy. And like I always tell someone, like if you are launching a product, for those of us that we are selling one thing or the other on WhatsApp like that, it is very good for you to build trust on your products, whatever product you are selling, in such a way that you don't even have to stress yourself to convince them. And that is why some companies, some products, they don't even have to convince anybody. They've gotten to a level whereby people trust them. There's a particular Maggi that I normally use to cook. I so much love that Maggi in such a way that If I cannot get any Maggi elsewhere, I'm not going to cook. I will cook, but I will not add Maggi to it. You see that Maggi? I will not tell you the name of that Maggi. I'll just give you the. I still remember the advertisements. They used to say, I will not tell you the name. Is a taste maker. Do you know the name of that? Do you know the name of that Maggi? Right. I'll not tell you the full name, but that's the Maggi, right? If I am unable to get it, I'm not going to use any Maggi for my food. I will eat it like that. I will cook the stew like that because I really trust them, and it is something that I know that when I use it, I'm fine and I'm okay. So if you are selling any products, if you are selling any products, it's not that what I had ordered versus what I get. Because if you're able to also build trust, you don't have to stress yourself. Do you understand? So please, as a product manager as well, try as much as possible when you are launching your products. If you are saying you are going to do A, please don't go and do B. Make sure it is that A that you promise that you will get to your users because it eases you some stress. All right. Exactly. Anthony, how do you guys? I don't know how you guys used to figure out. I don't understand. You are right. That's the Maggie I'm talking about. If I don't have that, I'm not going to add any Maggie to my soup. Exactly, a wonderful taste maker. Wow, I love that. I mean, I have intelligent students on this call. This is for you guys. Thumbs up. You're right. For the fact that you can even understand what I'm saying, like without even giving you the full information. Yeah, wow, that's awesome. Exactly. So, because the trust is there, and I hardly see the advertisements. I don't really think they even used to do ads like before because they've already gained their trust and all of those things. Exactly. So products diversify their brand and model. That's when they can decide to do so many things because they've gotten to a maturity stage whereby they can have other branches and do a lot of things, right? And distribution, they build more intensive distribution and advertising, stress brand differences and benefits. Yeah, next slide, please. I hope I'm adding value. I hope I'm not just making noise here. Okay. Yeah, I was supposed to have this as the first slide, but I think there was a mix up. So for the introduction stage of PLC, which is the product life cycle, the sale is always low and the cost is high cost per customer. I think I've explained this here. I think it's repetition. So the profit is negative or low, market objective, they create product awareness and trial. Then products they offer basic sales and their prices is usually high. Yes, cost plus formula and distribution is high distribution expenses. And advertisement is they build product awareness among. All right, thank you, Bola Tito. Thank you. They build products awareness among early adopters and dealers. Thank you, Bakari. I like that. So value is very important. If you're in a place and you're not getting value, please you just have to move. Time is precious. Very, very. All right, next slide. So I'm happy that I'm adding value. Thank you. Thank you. Okoyemi, thank you. I love that. Next slide, please. So, what are the benefits of product life cycle in marketing? For marketing efficiency, that's one of the important so that you'll be able to for to maintain stability as well. For you to be able to at least Shegun Bolarinwa 100. Thank you. I love that. I'm encouraged. Thank you. Thank you. So benefits of product life cycle marketing for marketing efficiency, also for you to be able to make strategic planning as well for customer loyalty, very important for sustainability, and also for product evolution, very important, and for pricing strategies, as well as competitive advantage, market segmentation, and all. So all of these things are the benefits for one for product life cycle in marketing. Once you know the cycle that you already you have an understanding that this stage that I am right now, these are the requirements for you to move to the next stage. You don't have to wait till you get to decline phase That is why you have to be doing constant, and you need to get feedback from your users at every point in time. When you have the opportunity, if you don't have, you create the opportunity. So because before you know it, you just enter decline phase. Next slide, please. So, conclusion, product lifecycle is a very crucial framework for you to understand how a product moves from creation to decline by recognizing the different stages, that is, from your introduction phase for growth, from growth, maturity, and decline phase. Businesses can also make informed decisions about their marketing, innovation, and improvements. So, embracing the life cycle helps your company to adapt to changing market condition, maximizing your product success, and know when it is time for you to pivot or to retire a product. So feedback is very, very important in whatever product that you are sending to your users, or whatever products that you are introducing to your market, because your competitors, they are not sleeping. Next slide, please. Next, please. Next slide. So let's do a quick exercise. So now I want to be sure that we all have an understanding of what these life cycles, the differences between this life cycle. So on the chat box, I want you to just write introduction phase, put a product beside it, maturity, put a product beside it, and growth. I'm sorry, it's introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. List them and put one product beside it. I want to say that if we have an understanding of what this life cycle is, so choose a product that you've experienced with and break it down, its development journey using the stages of product development life cycle. It should be product life cycle rather, product life cycle. So just list it out. Product life cycle. You write introduction, you on the growth, maturity, decline. I just want to have like responses on the channel to know that everybody, you have an understanding of what this product is. So when you're having such experience, when you launch your product, you should be able to know that, oh, the signal I'm getting from this product is this, is this, is that. So you will definitely know the next action. You take the next action so that you will not get to decline phase. Okay, right. I'm very happy that everybody has an understanding of what all of this thing is. All right. Okay. I like that. So keep dropping your responses. And we've come to the end of tonight's class. So let's try as much as if you have any question, you can just drop it so that it can be addressed. So our next class is on Friday, same time by 7 p.m. to 9. So by next week Friday, so we'll be talking about the difference between product strategies and product road mapping. So that's our next week, our Friday topic rather. Yeah. So like I said on the call yesterday, start thinking of a product idea right now that you want to work on, and whatever you are being taught in class, use that product to practicalize it. Do you understand? That's the best way you can learn. So start thinking of that project, because your capstone projects, you should know that you should be expecting that at the end of this squad before the end. So yeah. Introduction. Somebody said pay stack by Zap, growth Cora Pay, maturity is Google, decline is BlackBerry. Another person said introduction, child deck, growth, Sense Pad, maturity is Google. Somebody said decline phase, Etisalat. Wow. Another person said Temu, yeah, introduction. growth, childbirth, maturity, TikTok, decline, glow. No, 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 I disagree. Fatia, decline, and glow is not a decline phase. I disagree. I disagree with you. Glow is not a decline phase. Nah, growth phase, piggy vest. That's correct. Okay, easy by zenith, growth is okay, rapid maturity, OP, decline phase, Nokia. Yeah, I think everybody have an understanding of this decline phase. Sit where everybody are just dropping like decline to go to go. What has to go down to you? All right. All right. Let me ask a question that if we don't already have users, for example, people that are just starting or learning product management like me, how can you make research? You carry out a research, you can use a Google form to carry out the research. In as much that you have your target audience that you are trying to get an information from, you use a Google form, you write out the questions that you are trying to figure out, and you ask them. Or better still, you can do a competitive analysis. Who are your competitors for that product? Do you understand? You need to know what they are doing that you do differently. Do you understand? You carry out a competitive analysis. But for somebody that is just starting like you, also you can start with a Google form to gather feedback from your users. That's the first thing. And you can also conduct research by reading online, hear from people on social media. You can get feedback from them. A focus group, the people that you are trying to develop a product for. Try to maybe have like a focus group whereby you can have an interaction, one-on-one discussion with them. Hi, my name is this. I'm trying to work on a particular product. I'd like, can I have like 5 minutes of your time? These are the questions you ask them. You get feedback, raw feedback. So there are better ways that you can conduct your research. But before then, you need to know who your target audience are. If you don't know who they are, it's very difficult for you to be able to carry out the research. So you can also, I mentioned competitive analysis. For example, you conduct your SWOT analysis. When you know who your competitors are, right? You know what is their strength. What is their strength? What is their pricing model? What pricing models are they using, right? What's their market size? What are the threats, right? What are the opportunities they have? All of those things, you can, when you're able to identify all of those things, you will now capitalize on their weakness. So their own weakness is what you'll be using as your own what, your own strengths. Do you understand? I hope that answers your question. Okay. All right. We have less than 9 minutes. Yes, I think, is it possible to run at loss for a good product and what could be possible causes? That is why the business analysis part is very important. You have to have done all of this research. What is the cost implications? You have to sit down to do all of this analysis. In fact, there are some companies that they hire business analysts. Yes, there are some companies that. But if at all you're in such situation that you've experienced that, right? I mean, just that you have to first of all identify what is the problem, what really happened. When you're able to identify the problem, then you can have a solution. SWOT analysis is just for you to be able to know what is the strength, what is the weakness, what are the opportunities, what are the threats to that particular product they are trying to conduct a research on. What could be the possible causes of a loss? because you didn't conduct your research. You try to like bring your price, like you lower your price. Maybe it's too low, because I mean, before you even start doing all of those, you need to know what your expenses, how much is the cost of this thing, what are your costs, what are your expenses. All of those things has to be in place before you even start, you know, introducing your goods to your target audience. So when it comes to finance, right, you need an expert to help you to like make an informed decision before that is being considered. So I hope that answered your question. How can I start building my portfolio as an associate product manager? I don't know who is going to take you for the portfolio building, but then there's a template that you can actually use to build your portfolio as we proceed with our classes. But then you have an understanding, okay, before the end of the cohorts. Just that's why I mentioned that have your own product on your head. Like start thinking of a product that you can work on, so that by the time you are done with this bootcamp, you have something on your portfolio that you can write. Even if you cannot develop a full product, but at least you'll be you should be able to at least have like a prototype of what the product looks like before the end of the cohort. So by the time you are done, you can still add that to your portfolio before the end of the yeah, you can add it to your portfolio. And also it is very important that you tell your story. Please tell your story on social media. You never can tell who is interested. And when you are done, you can use it for internship. You can just say, I'm done with my bootcamp, my training. I'm open for, even if it's an unpaid internship for a start. And you never can tell. Once they can see the seriousness, the zeal, the commitment, you don't know who is interested in your story. So yeah, we're done. We are done. We are done. Thank you everyone for engaging the channel. I hope I'm able to add value. Also, get an accountability partner. All right. Bye everyone. See you in our next class. Good night.
My name is Ugochukwu Obunaya and in God's Kingdom.